Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tammy Doe, and today is October 17th, 2022. Here is your Moldavite update for today. Now, let's talk about this 1010 portal and the 10-day window that is in between, okay? So this is what I noticed within the last 3 years consistently, that when this 1010 portal comes around, it's like a 10-day window for us to step into this next part of our journey. It's the fork in the road, except this fork has many opportunities and possibilities opening up for us to take the next step into the next level. So for those who are experiencing big shifts, ending of something and stepping into something new, okay? So within this 10-day window, we have that choice, we have that option. Possibilities are showing up. You may have experienced it leading up to this 10-day window, but I felt like the path we step into is during this 10-day window. And so tune in to see if that resonates. I think for me, this last week, as I was sharing with you in my previous chapter, I started working with Palisite, which is an actual meteorite. And I shared with you that I feel like I broke the barrier with Moldavite, right? I have so much Moldavite in my collection. When I first started this journey, I thought I was gonna buy Moldavites, go activate them and flip them, or sell it and distribute them. But the more I start working with it, the more my guides are saying, save them for the Goddess Academy. And so all my savings would go into these Moldavites. I'll do, maybe I'll show you my collection at the end of the video, or I'll do another video just on my Moldavite collection, okay? It's quite a bit, so prepare yourself. It's gonna be a lot of energy. We're talking about at least 400 grams activated Moldavite. I haven't added them all up, but it's around 400 to 600 grams, somewhere around there. Maybe more, I don't know, okay? And so I felt like work with the Moldavite, I cleared and I purged. When you have a Moldavite on you, it's gonna push up whatever stagnant energy is stuck. It's like all these channels are trying to open when you have Moldavite on you, and it's gonna bring up all the crap that you haven't dealt with, that I haven't dealt with. And so every time I get a new inventory of Moldavite, it's like forcing me to expand. Every time I expand, there will be a little period of rest, and then new energies come through, and then new inventory of Moldavite comes through, more expansion. So I did that within the last 4.5, 5 years. And I got to a point where I felt like, wow, I've broken the barrier out into the meteorites sector. So within the first couple of years, I never got the pull to work with meteorites. The only meteorite that is big enough I would actually consider working with is Lausta. I have this cube around, I think 109 grams. I call it the Tesseract. That one opens up dimensions into other realities. And then recently, after my trip to Mexico, bringing the last activated set of Moldavite to activate in Mexico, I started working with Palisite. Now, Palisite is a whole different energy. So when I was starting work with Palisite, all of the Moldavite started vibrating out. And I went through a week without working with, like maybe 1 or 2 Moldavite would come out, but there are days when I just didn't have a Moldavite on me. And to me, that is very rare. The last 4.5 years working strictly with Moldavite, the furthest I've gone a day without wearing my Moldavite is probably like 2 days max, okay? It's like this energy is, it was always pulling for me. So 2-day max, I would say, that I ever went through within the last 4.5 years without my Moldavites. And throughout certain phases, there are certain favorite Moldavites that I work with. And each year they grow bigger and bigger, okay? And it was very strange because one time, I think 2 years ago, I was like, I need a break from Moldavite. I'm not going to wear any more Moldavites. And then so I was in the car. I put all my Moldavites in a silk bag in my purse. And literally, I just felt my body descending, right? Like like I could breathe a little more. And then all of a sudden, when I made a turn into this highway, a car was literally this close into hitting my car. And that was a moment I'm like, okay, I am in a different reality. It's what I felt like. When I put the Moldavites away, I felt like I contracted down, or I elevated down, descended down to this body, and chaos was starting to happen around. So in that moment, it kind of freaked me out, and then I wore my Moldavite again. Okay, I think that was the last time that, year and a half ago, that was the last time I actually not wear my Moldavite outside. So wherever you are in your journey with Moldavite, if you have the call to wear them, great. If you stop vibrating with it, then that's okay too. From my experience, and I'm sharing with you because this is my experience, okay? It was, I never went on very long without Moldavite. And so this past week of not wearing a Moldavite outside for at least 3-4 days, I was very surprised at what was happening. And so that's what it felt like this past week during this 10-10 opening. It's actually not just Moldavite. Other crystals start vibrating out. Like I start putting all my Moldavite grids away. The only grid that's open was with the palisite. And so when I started tuning in, I had this vision of the earth shifting really fast outside of this barrier of the earth. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just saw everything shifting. That's why right now you're trying to ground yourself, you're trying to stick to do something, it just doesn't stick, it doesn't stay. It's like everything, there's so many moving parts. The most important thing to do now is just to stay solid in you, be in alignment, and be okay to let go, right? What I feel like is happening is when we are in alignment, in this clear vessel, we're shifting this soul version of us. Like, you know those Star Trek movies or futuristic movies where they go into this teleportation machine and they break out into little atoms and then they transport to another reality? This is what I feel like exactly is happening. When we heal, whenever I do this healing, these clearings, I feel more energy moving through my body. Lately, I've been feeling this energy reach my feet. My feet has been tingling this last couple of days. And that's something I never really felt before. And it's like all these years growing up, we become numb within ourselves. We block our feelings. We have all this stagnant energy that we don't feel anymore. We're not sensitive to energy. And so every time I do a healing, every time I do a cleanse or clearing, I feel my body come alive. And it's like waking up every single cell within my body is what it felt like. And Moldavite is there to push out all these stagnant energies, to help like expand and wake up every single cell within our body, okay? That's my experience. So that's what I'm feeling is happening. Is maybe what's happening is we are waking up the cells within our body and teleporting to different reality. And maybe this new reality is this new earth. This is how we are transporting from one reality to another, changing the frequency, changing the vibration, switching the channel. Does that make sense? Switching the channel means your vibration has to match that new channel. And we're an average of all the vibration, all the emotions that we accumulated over this lifetime and other lifetimes, okay? So that's why Moldavite, when I worked so much with Moldavite this last 4.5 years, it's going back to so many past life up to 15 million years. But when I start working with the palisite, this is 4.5 billion years old. I started getting this soulmate energy coming through. And this is when I started making the red thread of fate. So I'm actually wearing mine right now. So my thing is a little bit My circle is a little bit bigger. They discontinued that circle, this ring, but here's is what I have on my website, the red thread of fate. Okay, so I sense is the red thread of fate is going to lead you to outside the matrix, or at least my energy is in here. It's what I felt like all these years working with Moldavite helped me get to this soulmate level. So tune in. This is what I'm being called to bring forth into physical form and release. So if you feel called for one, tune in. I say whenever the soul is ready, they will know to come find their red thread. Okay, so it's on my website, thelightgoddesses.com. We'll just leave it at that. But I have mine. If you should get yours, for those who already gotten yours, give it about 5 days for me to channel what I need to channel into the red thread and then distribute out to you. Okay, and I would say during this 10-day gap is every day I make about two comes through. So we'll see what unfolds as you guys receive yours. And when you receive it, wear on your less dominant hand, your least dominant hand, because that's where it receives the energy, and the red thread activates something within the body. Okay, it's in Feng Shui too. In Feng Shui, the master ties a red thread around different items to activate it. So for me, what I got was to tie it around your least dominant hand with this red thread of fate. So that's that with the red thread. What else? Okay, so my Moldavite journey, I believe I'm almost complete with collecting all the Moldavites. Now I'm going to be releasing some of my Moldavites within the set. Typically I save 12 for each set, for each chakra. So I have about 5 complete sets of Moldavite. I think, well, what I'm sensing now is I'm going to reduce it down to 7 for each set and release 5 for each set. Okay, so I'm going to give you a preview of how much Moldavite I've been working with. Just brace yourself. There's different energies for different vortexes, and I bring them on different alignment dates. So there are sets that are activated on Lionsgate, on 8/8 Lionsgate in Mount Shasta. There's one on 11/11 on Zion. So it's all these different star alignment state that opens up massive portals for these energies to download through. And I'll just give you an idea of what I have. I'll do another episode of going in specifically on what each energy holds, what I experience when I work with them. And I'll release them on my website. So this is my personal collection. If you're looking for cheap or market price, it's not it. These are collectibles. And when you get one, it's connected to the grid of all the Moldavites I buried around the world. Okay? So let's see. It's interesting. There is one specific one. So this last week I haven't been really wearing Moldavite. And the one that the most powerful one I have is contained in here. The moment that I opened it, I just felt like this headache and I just felt kind of sick. So this one is activated in Sedona on 2/22/2022. And I also took it down to Mexico on the Teotihuacan, the Pyramid of the Sun and the Moon. And I also took down to Chichen Itza on 9/9. So whatever's contained in that set of Moldavite, it opens up the sacral for this rebirth. But when I opened this, after a week of not really working with Moldavite, I just felt really sick because it's too much energy. I literally had to open the window, okay? So here, you guys can feel this first. This is the sacral chakra, about 26 point something grams. If you start burping, if things start coming up your body, it's energy trying to release. So right now, I'm already feeling this need to burp, which is more energy coming up to release, okay? So this is a 26 gram one. If you feel a headache, it's okay. It's a lot of energy. So I'm gonna put this away. Notice how your body feels. I I would say there's a huge difference when I work with an activated Moldavite and a non-activated one. Each energy is programmed for each chakra. So I don't know what your Moldavite brings to you, but however it shows up for you is the lesson you need to learn and the energy that you need to work with, okay? I say the Moldavites will call for you. When you're in resonance with it, it will call for you. So this one is the most powerful one in my collection so far. This activated one. All right, so ready? So this is brief preview because I will probably make another episode on the different sets and then which one I'm actually releasing. So here is the sacral set. We got 12 for each one. The big one goes here. Here's one I got activated at Aphrodite's temple in Lebanon. I got it from a friend who activated for me. So this set is the solar plexus down in Joshua tree on my birthday, on my 33rd birthday. And also this one looks like a Wonder Woman crown. So this is the sacral and the solar plexus set. Here is my favorite one. We got the Zion set. This is all museum grade. Zion I activated on 11/11, 2022. This activates the twin flame energy, or the divine union energy. It holds a very strong dragon energy. So look, when two flames become one, it becomes this one flame. This is 17.17 grams. And here's my dragon claw that I always that I wore for some time. It's very interesting because certain people enter my life whenever I work with this set. This set is a very whole and complete energy. It brings you this feeling of completeness, okay? So this is my heart Moldavite. I activated in Sedona, in Houston, Space City, and also in Mexico, Teotihuacan. So this has been with me for the last 2 years. It's about 22.3 grams. Okay. And here is the Mount Shasta set on 88 Lionsgate. It's a very light and expansive energy. This brings in the energy of Hollywood and abundance. Every time I work with this one, I always get the urge to make videos, make movies, and actually my first Hollywood client came through this set. So this is my Hollywood Starseed Mount Shasta energy. This one was about 15 grams. Then I dropped it and it became 14 point something grams. It's all good. And then I have 50 small ones that I brought from Vietnam. That one's a very healing energy. And Father Budip's temple. It's a very large vortex down in Vietnam. It's a very popular location. It's very healing energy. So I have that set of 50. But I would say these are the ones that I work with consistently. And whenever there needs healing or just a very healing energy, the crown chakra, I would bring out Father Budip's set, which is about 50 of them. But this is my Moldavite set so far. Okay, but that's not all. Here is my Moldavite wand. This one is made of a wood called Hollywood. Here is a Moldavite with 11 Herkimer diamonds and a phenakite point. So yeah, that's my Moldavite collection. All right, let me put this away. I'm already feeling very ungrounded, but I work specifically with them whenever I'm trying to work with a client on healing a different chakra or purging and releasing a different chakra. And typically these ties us back to past life as well. Whenever I work with twin flame healings, I would always work with the Zion set because that's when this twin flame energy comes through very prominently. And when we can find the lesson, what was the trauma, what was the pain, what was the Stuck energy is when we start clearing and releasing, but it's getting to the virus. Basically, what I do with the past life healings. It's getting to the point in time to when the event happened, and then we clear and release it, right? Because Moldavite expands us back to 15 million years. Then we trace down these past lives and we figure out what happened. Okay, so that is a little preview of my Moldavite collection. Oh, I feel like I can like breathe again when I put it away. I don't know if you felt that energy, but it was like expand to capacity, and then when I put it all away, it's like, oh, you can breathe again. So that's that. I will be releasing 5 from each set. So if you saw any that really resonates with you, tune in or shoot me a message. I haven't decided on which one from each set yet, but just know this is it's some powerful stuff is all I have to say. But yeah, so that's my Moldavite collection. Stay tuned. If any questions, let me know. I hope you felt the energy. Moldavite has changed my life. Moldavite has led me to so much healing and accelerated rate working with this much Moldavite that I believe in 100%. Okay, so whatever I share with you guys is my own experience. Whether you choose to listen to different teachers, that's really up to you. Now, if you really want to take a deep dive into Moldavite and you resonate with my channel, feel free. Whatever resonates, take it. Whatever doesn't, let it go. And whatever, you're always going to get called to what you need to hear. Okay? Other than that, I will post the Moldavites within this week. Red Thread of Fate is available on my website as well. You'll get called to what you need. Other than that, I will see everyone for the next episode. Tammy Do, signing out.